Boom. Facebook Live. And this is the Troy Ritchie page, I believe. And I will save this and post it on my personal page. I just wanted to jump on live and share with you the reason for cleaning house. And I've got a page of notes because I need to look at my notes. Why reduce your Facebook friends from almost 1,400 to 250? 1,400 to 250. So I'm just going to go over my notes. What has happened over the last several years? The Facebook feed sucks joy more than gives joy. And some of you may be feeling this. It doesn't give me the joy that it once did. I remember 10 years ago how exciting it was to grow your Facebook audience, right? And you catch up with old friends and you see their family and the photos. It was awesome. It really was, like 10 years ago or whatnot. And now I'm releasing a book. I do a lot of content. Why would anyone want to reduce their friends? It would seem like now would be the time to grow friends. And so let me read my notes here. Yeah, it makes no sense. And so, I announced to people that, well, I guess as the story goes, I'm going to go off notes. As the story goes, my mother had kind of told me that, hey, if you unfriend someone, you should let them know. And I said, well, I have their mobile. They're a friend of mine. It's not a Facebook relationship. And she said, well, you still should have let them know. You should let them know why. And I said, well, that's not on me. It's not my job to, it may not be about them. It may be about me and having to, and she said, well, they might be confused. And that made the most sense when people are confused. So I started thinking about it, like over 2 days, 3 days, like, what is a Facebook friend? What is it? So as I went through unfriending my friends list, it felt very weird. There were some that I thought, heck no, I'm not gonna unfriend them. I'm just not. There's no question. And then others, I thought to myself, they're good friends of mine, yet there's no back and forth on Facebook. There's no Facebook relationship. I have their mobile. I can call them up anytime. We can chat. No big deal. There's no engagement on Facebook. And so I would unfriend them. And it felt bizarre. It felt weird because they are a friend. For me, Facebook is turned into like Fakebook. And it's shallow. Now, I'm extreme. I'm a guy that my freshman year in college did not feel that I was representing the Lord like I should. And it was hard for me to sing. In fact, I wouldn't sing it, that song, I Love You, Lord, because my actions did not back up what I said. So I'm extreme that way in my belief system. For the past few years, in fact, 3 or 4 years ago, I actually deactivated my Facebook account during my birthday because I would get these birthday greetings from people that they didn't have a relationship with me. I knew that I was being idiotic, so I stopped doing that. And what I did was anytime I got a birthday greeting, I would thank them individually. Yet most people on Facebook, and again, if you think I'm judging you, whatever. I'm so over that. Most of the time when people think I'm talking about them, I don't even know. They're not even on my mind. It's a kind of reverse form of pride. I don't think about anyone actually when I spit fire. Anyway, and I give Lindsay, my wife, a hard time on this. I say, why are you why are you thanking everyone in one blanket thank you instead of thanking each one individually? I mean, they went through the time to individually say happy birthday. Yet most people will say, thank you, everyone, for wishing me a happy birthday. It means so much. Well, if it meant so much, why not? Why not individually thank them? And then be like, how you doing? Like, hey, I haven't heard from you in a year. How have you been? And why not strike up a conversation? I'll tell you why. Because it takes too much time. And that's what I'm talking about. Is it Facebook or Fakebook? What is it? So I'm having all these thoughts. And so I'm like, okay, well, my mom says that I should like let people know if I'm going to unfriend them. So tell you what, I'm going to make a post and I'm going to let everyone know that I'm going to do a friend audit, a Facebook friend audit, right? Because most of them are my friends. I mean, there's some trolls that I really felt good about unfriending. I'm not going to lie. And so I posted that. Now, Lindsay, my wife, said, why are you doing that? You're nobody. Why are you doing that? And so now I'm like confused. Like, okay, what do I tell people or do I? Because Lindsay's right. I can do whatever I want on my Facebook. And if people are offended, I can't control that. That's their offense. So that's the kind of guy I am, right? I'm in about genuine relationship, about being real. I don't do fake well at all. At all. Sometimes it gets me in trouble because I'm not fake and it's received in a wrong way. That's something that I got to get better at. No one can question, though, if I'm genuine or if I'm real. I am as real as it gets, and you can't question my motives either because you don't know me if that's the case. And quite frankly, over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, my intent has been questioned, which means they don't know me, which means why are we Fakebook friends? You see what I mean? Thank you, Kenneth. I'm doing this on my Troy Ritchie page because there's some that are unfriended. They'll never see this. Let me go back to my notes. Questions like that where I would think more about what our friendships on Facebook are, and if we don't have time to individually thank them, what are we really here for? Right? These are the thoughts that are going through my mind. It's getting dark, so I'm gonna hurry up. Now there are people that I unfriended that I consider extremely close friends. Extremely close friends. So there wasn't really a pattern as I went through the friends list. But it had nothing to do with friendship. It had to do with Facebook. Honestly, believe me if you want. Where I made the decision was if there was zero engagement. So let's say they're a best buddy from Seattle, and I live in Vegas now, and we just there's nothing back and forth on Facebook. Then I unfriended them because Facebook is Facebook and they're not a part of it yet. They're in my mobile. I can call them up. If I know their birthday, I'll send them a birthday note. So that's kind of the thought process there. And it was weird unfriending because every time you unfriend it, Facebook's like, are you sure you want to unfriend? I'm not unfriending. I'm just removing the connection. LinkedIn is so much better, I have to say. Hopefully Facebook watches this. What I did was I went through 1,400 names, and if you weren't a family member, a childhood friend, former bandmate, I considered unfriending you. If you weren't one of those things, yet you were very engaging and you followed my content and there was a Facebook relationship, then I kept you on. That's really the only thought process. It's about relationships for me. And I'll tell you, I don't like saying that, let me be honest with you, because it implies you're not honest sometimes. I'll be transparent that I have been giving away free advice much, much too often. and I need to get better at charging for my coaching services. I just have to. So this is also plays into that, where I am really identifying my audience of close friends and who's outside that audience. I mean, Jesus had 2 and then 12. And so I'm really trying to get better at that. So that also came into play. It's another way for me to separate relationships from family to close friends to clients. Now, if you think that's out of line, then send me a check, because I'm unemployed and I'm very good at giving either business advice or life coaching, and it's time that I got compensated for it. So I'm not apologizing for that. If you think that's out of line, then send me a check. You can sponsor. You can go on my podcast and invest $9.99 a month to my podcast. If you think that I shouldn't have that mindset, I should, and I need to get better at it. I need to overcome imposter syndrome. I read. Okay, so I believe. Go back to my notes. I believed for a long time it should be called Fakebook. It's a lot of shallow relationships, and I'm about meaningful, genuine relationships. And the thing is, like, most of my content is on this page anyway. What's great is that I'm doing all this, it's like, who cares? Probably nobody, but it's fun. And some people might understand where I'm coming from. That and hopefully I start a trend, right, where people start reducing their Facebook friends and just getting to genuine relationships again. Smaller is better. It's always now on my Troy Ritchie page, where I'm producing content for the benefit of others for free. It's I want to provoke thought, inspire hope, ignite fire. That's my thing. That's my mantra. Provoke thought, inspire hope, and ignite fire. So you follow my page, Troy Ritchie. Let's get it up to 10,000 followers, man. Let's do this. The Jesus Revolution page, Coach Troy page, whatever. That's always going to be there. As far as the Facebook personal page, I mean, can we go back to being genuine? It's a fair question. A lot of your comments on there were like, I just did this, and my mom's texting me. I just did this, and it felt great. So apparently there's like maybe a shift happening, because the Facebook news feed is getting like Twitter. There's a lot of hate out there. And so here's the thing: is I read 100 books last year. Today I just finished book number 29. Most are self-help. Literally all are self-help books. Most of the books I read are self-help. I'm actually expanding to fiction this year, perhaps. Literally all the self-help books I read instruct you to avoid toxic or negative people in your life. Can I read the note again? Literally all the self-help books I've read instruct you to avoid toxic or negative people in your life. They bring science, they bring data, they show how negative and toxic people can impact your health. So if Facebook is sucking more joy from you than giving you joy, for the health of your body, make a change. Your body's a temple of the Holy Spirit. Make a change. And I don't buy into this, well, you need to hear everyone else's opinion. Whatever. No, because you're saying that. What books have you written? Right? If I've got to go to a source, I'm going to go to a PhD, or I'm going to go to someone that talks about the negative effects of news. So if you're like, well, I don't watch the news. If you're watching your Facebook feed, that's news. And it's just as toxic and destructive as the news. Someone told me the other day what happened at, I think Chaz changed their name to Chop or something in Capitol Hill. I had no idea, because I hit my Facebook feed. I don't watch the news. That makes me, what, uneducated? Let me be ignorant then. Because my health is more important. My health of my family is more important than you saying something that is so, or someone saying something. Again, if you're thinking I'm talking about you, I'm not talking about you. So, so many pastors are like, I need the congregation to feel comfortable. It's not your job as a pastor to make sure your congregation is feeling comfortable. The Holy Spirit can do what the Holy Spirit does. Seriously. Okay, back to my notes. Again, if Facebook is sucking more joy from you, and I know some of you, I just said I'm talking about you. There are some of you that it does. It sucks more joy than gives joy. Make a change. Make a change. Get away or reduce it. I'll end with this. If someone is following my page, or they have a friend of a friend and this video got transferred or whatever, and they're greatly offended because I unfriended them. And they, first off, I can't control if someone's offended. When you're offended, it's not on the person that you think offended you. It's on you. It really is. So when I got butthurt a couple weeks ago, it's on me. I had to do a self-evaluation. Anyway, I got to find my notes. This is way too long. But let's say that the person is offended, right? And they feel that they shouldn't have been unfriended. Right? And they look to call me up. Only they don't have my phone. They don't have my mobile. Because maybe the relationship wasn't a relationship. It wasn't genuine. And yet they're still offended. And they find a way to get a hold of me. Here. My landline is 725-735-4190. Give me a call. My mobile is 425-280-2835. Give me a call. Don't send me a text. Give me a call. Because I'm about genuine, real relationships. And let's say this person called me up, right? Got a hold of me. And they chewed me out. I don't mind being chewed out. They let me know how offended, how hurt they were that I unfriended them. You know what my response is? I'm sorry. And then I'll ask them if they'll forgive me. Because I've never been about trying to hurt people. Never. Lindsay knows, goodness sake, how often I can't go to sleep because I've hurt someone. That's not me. And if people think that's me, they don't know me. And if they don't know me, why are we Facebook friends? Those are the thoughts that I've been going through. And as they would probably accept my apology, we would be talking. We would be establishing a genuine conversation, maybe a genuine friendship. They would have my phone number then. And they might send me a request to add them to be a Facebook friend, and then I would accept it. Can we all consider genuine, real relationships more than fake book? Peace out, everybody.